I want to start reading regularly again. Reading has always been an important part of human life. People read to learn, to enjoy stories, and to discover new ideas. In the past, I used to read regularly, and it gave me a lot of joy. Books opened new worlds to me. They helped me relax and also taught me many things. However, as I grew older, I started to read less. Life became busy, and I spent more time on other activities. Now, I realize that I miss reading. I want to start reading regularly again. In this article, I will share my experiences with reading, the reasons I stopped, the benefits of reading, the challenges I face today, and my plan to bring reading back into my daily life. My past experiences with reading. When I was younger, reading was one of my favorite hobbies. I remember going to the library every week. The library was quiet and full of books of every kind. I enjoyed walking between the shelves, picking up different titles, and feeling excited about what I might discover. I read many kinds of books. Sometimes I read novels about adventures, where the characters traveled to faraway places. Sometimes I read fantasy stories with magic and dragons. At other times, I liked non-fiction books that taught me about history, animals, or science. Each book gave me something new. Reading also made me feel calm. After a long day at school, I could sit on my bed, open a book, and forget my worries. It was like entering another world. Sometimes I read so much that I lost track of time. My parents often had to remind me to turn off the light and sleep. Those moments were special, and they helped me grow in many ways. Why I stopped reading regularly. As I got older, my habits began to change. In high school, I had more homework, tests, and activities. I told myself I was too busy to read for fun. Later, when I started using the internet more often, I spent my free time on social media, watching videos or playing games. These activities gave me quick entertainment, but they also took away the time I could have used for reading. Another reason I stopped was because I felt tired. After a long day of work or study, it was easier to look at my phone than to open a book. Reading requires focus and patience, and sometimes I did not feel ready for it. Slowly, reading became less and less common in my life. Now, I realize that I lost something important. I miss the quiet feeling of holding a book, the joy of following a long story, and the sense of learning something new. That is why I want to change my habits and start reading regularly again. The benefits of reading. There are many reasons why I believe reading is important. Knowledge books are full of information. By reading, I can learn about history, cultures, science, and different ideas. Even novels teach me something about life, people, and emotions. Every page adds to my knowledge and helps me understand the world better. Relaxation. Reading is also a way to relax. When I focus on a book, I forget about my stress and problems. A good story can make me laugh, cry, or simply enjoy the beauty of words. It is like a healthy escape from reality. Language skills. Since I am learning English, reading is also a good way to improve my language. By reading books in English, I can learn new vocabulary, grammar, and expressions. It also helps me think in English more naturally. Imagination and creativity. When I read, I imagine the scenes, the characters, and the actions. Unlike movies, books let me use my imagination to create the pictures in my mind. This makes me more creative. Focus and patience. In today's world, many things distract us. Reading helps me train my mind to stay focused. It teaches patience, because I need to spend time slowly moving through the pages to reach the end. The challenges of modern life. Even though I want to read more, I know there are many challenges. Technology is one of the biggest. My phone and computer are always near me, and they often distract me with notifications or videos. It is easy to spend hours online without realizing it. Another challenge is time. My days are full of study, work, and responsibilities. Sometimes I feel that I do not have enough energy to read. Reading requires attention, and when I am tired, it is difficult to focus. Finally, choosing the right book can also be hard. There are so many books in the world that I do not always know where to start. If I choose a book that is too difficult or boring, I may lose interest quickly. My plan to start reading again. To overcome these challenges, I need a clear plan. I believe that small steps will help me create a habit of reading again. Choosing the right books. I will start with books that truly interest me. Instead of forcing myself to read something difficult, I will choose books with simple language and topics I enjoy. For example, I may begin with short novels, stories, or even children's books in English. This will make reading fun again. Making a schedule. I plan to set aside a specific time each day for reading. Even 15 or 20 minutes before bed can be enough. If I make reading a part of my daily routine, it will become a habit. Creating a reading space. Having a quiet and comfortable place to read is important. I want to prepare a small corner with good lighting, a chair, and maybe a blanket. This will make reading more enjoyable. Setting small goals. Instead of trying to read a long book quickly, I will set small goals. For example, I can read 1 chapter per day, or 10 pages each night. Achieving these small goals will motivate me to continue. Mixing paper books and e-books. I enjoy the feeling of holding a real book, but sometimes e-books are more convenient. I can read them on my phone or tablet when I travel. Using both options will give me flexibility. How reading can improve my daily life. If I read regularly, I believe my daily life will become better. Reading before bed can help me relax and sleep well. It can also give me something positive to think about each day. In conversations with friends, reading can give me more ideas to share. I will have more knowledge and interesting stories to talk about. Reading in English will also make me more confident in using the language. Furthermore, reading will help me grow as a person. It will improve my ability to focus, to imagine, and to understand others. I believe it will make me more patient and thoughtful. Stories of other people who read regularly. I know some people who never stopped reading. For example, my friend always carries a book in her bag. Whenever she waits for the bus or has free time, she reads a few pages. She says it makes her happier and more relaxed. Another example is my teacher. He reads many books every year. He once told me that reading is like exercise for the brain. Just as the body needs movement to stay healthy, the mind needs reading to stay active. His words inspire me to follow his example. My dream as a regular reader. In the future, I want to see myself as someone who reads every day. I want to finish many books, not only in my first language, but also in English. My dream is to have a small personal library at home, full of books I love. I also hope that reading will help me in my career and personal growth. If I read more about different subjects, I can use that knowledge in my work. If I read more stories, I can understand people's feelings better. Reading will give me both wisdom and joy. Reading was once a big part of my life, and I miss it deeply. Even though I stopped for a while, I believe it is never too late to start again. I know that modern life is full of distractions, but with a clear plan, I can build a new reading habit. By choosing the right books, making a schedule, creating a reading space, and setting small goals, I will slowly return to the world of books. Reading will bring me knowledge, relaxation, creativity, and focus. It will improve my language and enrich my life. So today, I make a promise to myself. I want to start reading regularly again. Books are waiting for me, and I am ready to open them one by one. This is the beginning of a new chapter in my life. Thank you for watching. Take care.